I had one job. It was get to Bourbon and Beyond by 5 p.m. to interview Maren Morris. Then was going to interview Coetzel after that. So, as with everything here in Louisville, everything should take between 15 to 20 minutes to get anywhere, right?
Oh, gosh. Well, but depending on the time of day, though.
So I was anticipating, you know what? I'm going to roll up probably about 4:45 and I'll be fine. So I was planning on arriving to Bourbon and Beyond about 4:45. Get in the car with enough time to make it there, right? I, of course, look at the Waterson, I map it, and what normally takes about 15 minutes is going to take 35 minutes. It's all red. And I'm like, oh, gosh. And so I'm driving, my wife and I are driving over there. And so she's like, all right, get out, let me drive. And so I'm like, okay, so I stop, she jumps in, we take off, right? And, there's only so much you can do in bumper to bumper traffic, right? But,
sure.
She's gunning it where she can. I'm practically getting car sick, getting over there. We're looking we're looking at the time. Stress is happening. And
yes, because, not only are you probably dealing with people like coming home or picking up their kids, but you probably are dealing with people just getting to Bourbon and Beyond like you.
Yeah.
So it's a very big music festival. So you were thinking still 15, 20 minutes were good?
And we're dealing with an accident as well. So,
oh, gosh.
So anyways, all that. And she's like, it was like that scene from the classic Sandra Bullock movie Speed. Stay on or get off. Stay on or get off. Stay on or get off. And so I'm like in the passenger seat trying to navigate, going, all right, do I take Preston Highway? Do I do this? Do I go? Like, oh, get off.
Oh, my gosh.
So she like whips over and we get off there at Preston. And it's like, I'm going to try to go through gate 6. And
yes.
so, and
like,
literally,
no one's going to think of that.
And literally, like, management is texting me, and they're like, "Hey,
like, where are you?
Are you? Are you
coming?
We're here. Are you here?" And I'm like, "I'm in traffic." And then literally, they give me a call. They're like, "Hey, buddy."
Oh no!
I'm like,
when you get a hey buddy call,
and I'm like, "Hey," and they're like, "You close?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be cut. I'm like, I'm gonna be cutting it kind of close. Gotta be honest. What's your hard out? They're like, our hard out is 5:15 because she's got to get ready to get on stage. And I'm like, oh, God. Okay. Oh. So I'm like looking at my time. My wife's like, how much time we have? And I'm like, stay on, get off, stay on, get off.
And so, what time is it at this point?
It is like 4:50. And we're still on the Waterson.
Oh, gosh.
So she...
Oh, gosh. Like, okay, how fast can you run?
I know. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. So she's like, okay, I am going to pull up to close to get you as close to gate 6 as possible because, all these streets are blocked off, right?
Well, yeah. And then did you know exactly once you got on the grounds where you were supposed to go for the interview? Because it's a big area. Oh, okay. That's great, too.
So she stops.
Like, hey, can you drop me a pin?
So she stops. It's like the car's still rolling. I barrel roll out of the car, and I just start running.
Oh
it
God.
Is 97 degrees outside.
And you're what? What were you wearing?
I was wearing shorts and a short sleeve, button down shirt and a hat.
Okay. At least you weren't wearing jeans.
Right, exactly. And I thought about that too. And so I am running full tilt and it's like, the security guards are like, hey, and I'm like, it's okay. I'm a limo driver. Kind of like that scene from Dumb and Dumber, right? And so, and I'm scanning through, I'm behind everything, and I'm like, okay, now I just got to get into the actual festival, and so I'm like weaving through, and so finally I get into the festival, and I am absolute full tilt running to the place. Meanwhile, they call me again. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy, you're close? How many hey, buddy, you're close calls have you had at this point?
And I'm like, hey, I'm in the festival. I'm just trying to find like the media tent, etc. He's like, all right, well, just head over here. And so I have to ask someone, and they're like, all right, go through there, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm booking it. And
have you seen a Maren Morris? That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, right. So finally I get in, and I just tell the guy, I'm like, I'm the one wearing the bourbon hat. And he's like, you and about 1,000 other people. I'm like, great.
Oh, yeah, that's not helpful.
So
I'm the redhead that's running and now sweating.
Right. So I get there, and I get there like with 30 seconds to go before my interview is supposed to start, right? And I am sweating, drenched in sweat. They take me back to her trailer, right? And it's nice and air conditioned. That's fine. And
but you're walking in like a hot mess.
I am walking in like a hot mess. You know, hello? I had interview questions in my head. I'm just trying to get there. Like I'm scattered. I'm trying to be professional and everything. And
you've just completely forgotten everything you were supposed to ask.
and then of course she's just wrapping up her last interview before you. That's great. And out comes Kyle Meredith. And I'm like, come on, now I gotta follow this guy.
Oh yeah, he's fun.
he's like a pro over there at FPK, and it's just like, are you kidding me? And so anyways, she was a delight. First question, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of hot and sweaty.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. It's a little hot, but it's going to be fun.
It is 2 degrees short of a billion.
Yeah, I know. I walked off the bus today and I was like, ooh, it's a leather pants day. And then I walked off and I was like, nope, no, it's not. But we're going to commit.
All right, you said it. Let's do outfit of the day. What are you wearing? What do you got on?
I'm regrettably wearing leather pants or pleather, so I'm gonna have maybe like a after show Ross from Friends
I was
moment,
just gonna say,
trying to get them off.
They're not coming on, man.
I mean, she's like, I got leather pants on.
Yeah, that was not a good choice.
Yeah,
she should look at the weather in the places before she goes to perform.
I mean, but she did say, she was like, look, if you guys are out there in the heat, and I had apologized like 1,000 times. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I ran here. And she's like, no, you're good. And I'm like,
I didn't want to miss my slot. I rolled out of the car as my wife just kind of slowed down a little bit.
I barrel rolled out of the car and ran. And I did get a cool, thing, you know, she's got a couple songs in the movie The Wild Robot, which is kind of cool.
I just wrote some music for this animated film for DreamWorks called The Wild Robot. So I have 2 songs in there.
What if you chase your heart out to the edge, rewrite your stars and be brave instead? What if you jump and the falling feels a little like you're flying, oh my darling, if you try, you just might kiss the sky.
So that's coming out next Friday, the film. We just did Toronto Film Festival, and it's just, I've never had a song that I've written in a movie, so it was cool to be able to, like, as a mother and also just a fan of kids films, like, so be able to write something for that like I can enjoy, and obviously bawled my eyes out at the premiere the other day, but like once it's out, I kind of want to be able to like rent a theater out and then have my son and like all his friends come and like we watch it and he'll be like, oh my god, my mom's song. Yeah,
so very, very cool. I mean, she's obviously a pro. I am obviously not a pro, but
were you like pitting out and all the things and just like did you at least have good working deodorant that was able to withstand all of that? Did you do a pit check? You didn't have time for a pit check, did you?
wore white, so you could tell. I didn't wear black because I was thinking, it's going to be hot.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So
but
anyways,
then you didn't anticipate having to run and be sweaty.
So literally, I almost ruined my I had one job, and that was just get there by 5 to make my first interview, and that almost didn't happen. But thanks to some
shifty driving from my wife,
fast and furious driving from my wife, and tucking and rolling, and her slowing down to about 15 so I could jump out, and literally booking it there through the crowd. It ended up making there in time. But
I would love it if there were some other cars that witnessed this whole thing going down. If they'd probably just whip out the phone. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Like, where's this guy going?
I know. What is this guy doing? Why is this guy running?
Is he going to miss his favorite act?
I know, right?
Can't bear to not see the beginning of it.
Right, exactly. I'm late. So, anyways, we'll post the interview up at WDJX.com. Tap listen. You can.
Did they let you do video or pictures?
They did.
Or anything?
Yeah. So video and pictures and all that stuff to come. It's not on my phone because why would it be?
Well, I was going to say you wouldn't have time to set that up when you roll in like you did.
I know.
If you say, hey, anybody got a camera you can film this? Can you hit record? That'd be great.
Thankfully, I was joined by our coworker, Mike, who was dressed to the absolute nines.
He always is.
And he looked absolutely professional. And so
had been waiting there forever.
And yes, he was waiting. So it was a good balance.
So he was ready to go. He could hit record, capture it all.
Exactly.
And he's
so
very
anyways,
good at making up the little reels and the whatnots.
Right. So we'll get that posted for you a little bit later on here on 99.7 DJX.